Thanksgiving. A time for family, food, and football. It's a day when millions of fans gather around their TVs to watch two teams take the field, the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. But why is it always these two? How did they become as much a part of the holiday as turkey and pumpkin pie? The answer lies in a mix of bold decisions, marketing genius, and a bit of luck. The story of Thanksgiving football begins in 1934, a year when the Detroit Lions were not yet the household name they would become. Recently relocated from Portsmouth, Ohio, the team found itself overshadowed by Detroit's reigning sports kings, the Tigers, beloved champions of the city's baseball scene. For George Richards, the Lions' visionary owner, the challenge wasn't just building a competitive team on the field, it was carving out a space for football in a city that seemed to have no room for it. Richards wasn't just any team owner. He was a media tycoon who owned WJR, one of the most powerful radio stations in America. This wasn't just a business asset, it was his ace in the hole. Richards saw an opportunity to make the Lions an unmissable part of the national conversation. His plan? Host a game on Thanksgiving Day, a time when families were already gathered, hungry for both entertainment and tradition. It was a bold gamble that no other NFL owner had dared to take. Richards didn't stop at scheduling the game. He weaponized his radio station to amplify its reach. By broadcasting the matchup nationwide, he wasn't just drawing attention to his team, he was turning Thanksgiving football into a coast-to-coast phenomenon. For Richards, this wasn't just a game, it was an event. A spectacle designed to make the Detroit Lions impossible to ignore. On November 29, 1934, the Lions faced off against the undefeated Chicago Bears, none other than the legendary monsters of the Midway. The matchup had everything: a formidable opponent, an underdog eager to prove itself, and a holiday audience ready to be entertained. The stakes couldn't have been higher, and for Detroit, this was more than a game, it was a statement. That Thanksgiving, 26,000 fans filled the University of Detroit Stadium to its limits. An extraordinary feat for a young franchise. Millions more listened on radios across the country as Richards' gamble paid off. The Lions fought valiantly, losing by a narrow 19-16 margin. But the final score was secondary. The true victory was off the field. A city captivated, a fan base ignited, and a national audience that had fallen in love with Thanksgiving football. The success of that inaugural game planted the seeds of a tradition that would outlive even Richards' wildest ambitions. The NFL quickly recognized the potential, backing the Lions' annual Thanksgiving matchup as an institution. From that moment forward, Thanksgiving wasn't just about turkey and pumpkin pie, it was about football in Detroit. The Lions continued to play on Thanksgiving every year from 1934 to 1938, solidifying their status as the holiday's host. World War II interrupted the tradition, forcing the NFL to pause Thanksgiving games from 1939 to 1944. But in 1945, as soon as the war ended, the Lions returned to their Thanksgiving throne and have never relinquished it since. Through decades of triumphs and heartbreaks, the Lions' Thanksgiving games have remained a source of pride for Detroit. For fans, it's more than a game, it's a legacy, a celebration of resilience, and a tribute to Richards' vision. What began as a daring marketing move is now one of the NFL's most enduring traditions. Thanksgiving football isn't just a Lions tradition. It's their moment in the national spotlight, a piece of history they've carried proudly for nearly a century. By 1966, the NFL was growing rapidly, driven by the power of television and a nationwide appetite for football. Among its franchises was the Dallas Cowboys, a team that had been established just 6 years earlier. At the time, the Cowboys were far from the juggernaut they would later become. They weren't yet America's team. Instead, they were a young and ambitious franchise, eager to step out of the shadows and claim a spot on the national stage. Enter Tex Schramm, the Cowboys' visionary general manager. Schramm wasn't just a football man. He was a master marketer who understood the power of branding in sports. He saw an opportunity to elevate the Cowboys in a way no other team had attempted. His idea? Make Thanksgiving Day football a Dallas tradition, one that could bring the team into millions of living rooms across the country. At the time, Thanksgiving football was synonymous with the Detroit Lions. The idea of adding another host to the holiday lineup wasn't an obvious choice, and Schramm's proposal met with skepticism. League officials were unsure whether the Cowboys could sell enough tickets or generate sufficient interest. But Schramm believed in the magic of combining football with a national holiday and convinced the NFL to give Dallas a chance. On November 24, 1966, the Dallas Cowboys hosted their first Thanksgiving Day game at the Cotton Bowl, facing the Cleveland Browns. The stakes couldn't have been higher, not just for the Cowboys' season, but for their identity. Schramm's gamble depended on fans showing up and the team delivering on the field. And they did not disappoint. More than 80,000 fans packed the stadium, setting a franchise attendance record, while millions tuned in across the country to watch the action unfold. The Cowboys rose to the occasion, defeating the Browns 26-14 in a game that was thrilling from start to finish. The victory wasn't just a win in the standings, it was a declaration. Dallas had proven that Thanksgiving football wasn't just a Detroit tradition. It could be something more, a spectacle that transcended the sport. For Schramm, Thanksgiving football was about more than one game. It was a stage, an annual opportunity for the Cowboys to present themselves to a national audience. Over time, Schramm leaned into this exposure, crafting the Cowboys' identity as America's team. From the iconic cheerleaders to the star-studded stadiums, Dallas transformed the Thanksgiving game into a larger-than-life event that resonated far beyond Texas. It wasn't just football, it was theater, drama, and entertainment rolled into one. The path wasn't entirely smooth. In the mid-1970s, the NFL experimented with giving the Thanksgiving spotlight to the St. Louis Cardinals, hoping to boost their national profile. The Cardinals hosted games in 1975 and 1977, but the experiment flopped. The games lacked the energy and draw of Dallas, with mediocre attendance and low TV ratings. By 1978, the NFL returned the Thanksgiving spotlight to the Cowboys, solidifying their role as the holiday's co-host alongside Detroit. From that moment on, the Cowboys owned Thanksgiving. Over the years, they delivered some of the most unforgettable moments in NFL history. Clint Longley's miraculous comeback in 1974, Leon Lett's infamous blunder in the snow in 1993, and countless other games that showcased the drama of football at its finest. These moments didn't just entertain, they became woven into the fabric of Thanksgiving itself. Tex Schramm's vision in 1966 didn't just elevate the Cowboys, it redefined Thanksgiving football. Dallas turned the holiday into an annual showcase of excitement and spectacle, captivating audiences around the country. Today, the Cowboys' Thanksgiving game isn't just a tradition, it's an institution, watched by millions and celebrated as one of the NFL's most iconic events. By claiming the Thanksgiving stage, the Dallas Cowboys didn't just participate in a tradition, they transformed it. Schramm's bold gamble changed the course of the franchise forever, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary opportunities come to those willing to take a chance. Now, as millions gather each year to watch the Cowboys take the field, they're not just witnessing a game, they're part of a legacy that began with a simple but daring idea. While the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys have become the undisputed kings of Thanksgiving football, the NFL has had plenty of chances to bring other teams into the spotlight. Yet no franchise has managed to challenge the Lions or Cowboys for dominance on this holiday. Their reign is not a result of exclusivity, but of vision, consistency, and a willingness to embrace the challenges that others avoided. Where Detroit and Dallas built legacies, others let opportunities slip through their fingers. In the 1940s and 50s, the NFL experimented with scheduling random Thanksgiving matchups featuring various teams. These games lacked focus and failed to create any sense of tradition. Fans came to associate Thanksgiving football exclusively with the Lions, who had already established a firm grip on the day. Without consistent marketing or a compelling narrative, these other games faded into obscurity, leaving Detroit as the unquestioned Thanksgiving host. Fast forward to the mid-1970s, and the NFL made a bold attempt to dethrone the Cowboys. In 1975 and 1977, the St. Louis Cardinals were given the Thanksgiving stage in place of Dallas. The league hoped to raise the Cardinals' national profile, but the move backfired spectacularly. The games failed to deliver the excitement or emotional pull that had become synonymous with Thanksgiving. Attendance was lackluster, television ratings plummeted, and the Cardinals left little to remember. By 1978, the NFL reinstated the Cowboys, learning that Thanksgiving thrives on established brands and legacies, not fleeting experiments. Logistics also played a role in discouraging other teams from stepping up. Hosting a Thanksgiving game comes with unique challenges: short preparation times, rigorous travel schedules, and the pressure of performing under a national spotlight. Many franchises opted out, unwilling to take on the added strain. Meanwhile, the Lions and Cowboys leaned into the opportunity, embracing the demands and cementing their status as Thanksgiving staples. Their commitment only deepened fans' emotional connection to their games. Even the introduction of a rotating third Thanksgiving game in 2006 has done little to disrupt the Lions and Cowboys' dominance. While teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers and New Orleans Saints have produced memorable moments under the evening lights, these games still feel like appetizers compared to the main courses served by Detroit and Dallas. The third game may offer variety, but it lacks the weight of tradition that makes the Lions and Cowboys matchup so essential. What truly sets Detroit and Dallas apart is the storytelling. For the Lions, Thanksgiving is a tribute to nearly a century of history, a celebration of resilience, even during seasons of struggle. For the Cowboys, it's a showcase of drama and spectacle, embodying the larger-than-life identity of America's team. These narratives resonate deeply with fans, creating a sense of belonging and purpose that other teams have struggled to replicate. Other franchises have tried, but none have managed to carve out a permanent place at the Thanksgiving table. While the Lions and Cowboys deliver legacy-defining moments like Detroit's upset of the undefeated Packers in 1962, or Clint Longley's unforgettable comeback in 1974, other teams remain guests at a celebration hosted by the NFL's Thanksgiving royalty. Ultimately, the Lions and Cowboys dominate Thanksgiving not by default, but by design. Their early commitment to the holiday, paired with bold innovation and unwavering execution, created a tradition that feels unshakable. For Detroit, Thanksgiving is about honoring Georgia Richards' vision and showcasing the pride of a city. For Dallas, it's about Tex Schramm's gamble and the relentless pursuit of spectacle. Together, they've turned Thanksgiving football into something bigger than the game, a shared legacy woven into the fabric of the holiday. Other teams may join the Thanksgiving slate, but they will always be playing on a stage built by Detroit and Dallas. Their games remind us why tradition matters and how boldness and consistency can turn an ordinary opportunity into something extraordinary. Thanksgiving football belongs to the Lions and Cowboys because they dared to claim it and they've never let it go. Thanksgiving football is more than just a series of games. It's a tradition woven into the fabric of the holiday itself. For millions of fans, gathering around the TV to watch the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys is as sacred as carving the turkey or passing the pumpkin pie. It's a shared experience that bridges generations, creating memories that outlast the final whistle. These games aren't just about football. They're about family, connection, and the joy of coming together as a nation to celebrate two of America's greatest loves, sports and togetherness. For Detroit, the Thanksgiving game represents resilience. The Lions, no matter their performance on the field, embody the grit and determination of the Motor City. This tradition, dating back nearly 90 years, is a point of pride for a community that has faced its share of challenges. Even during seasons of struggle, Thanksgiving is a chance for the Lions to shine under the national spotlight, a moment for Detroiters to stand tall and cheer for their team with unwavering loyalty. It's a reminder that hope, like the city itself, is unyielding. Dallas, on the other hand, brings spectacle and grandeur to the holiday. Thanksgiving in Dallas isn't just a game, it's a production. The Cowboys have turned their Thanksgiving matchup into a stage for high drama and unforgettable moments. blending football with entertainment in a way that only America's team can. From iconic cheerleader routines to dazzling halftime performances, the Cowboys have elevated the day into an all-encompassing celebration. For fans, it's not just a game, it's a showcase of what makes Dallas special: boldness, excitement, and the pursuit of greatness. Think of the unforgettable moments that Thanksgiving football has given us. In 1962, the Lions delivered a heroic upset against the undefeated Green Bay Packers, sacking Bart Starr 11 times in a performance that left fans breathless. 12 years later, in 1974, Clint Longley etched his name into NFL lore with a miraculous last-minute comeback for Dallas, a story so improbable it still feels like something out of a Hollywood movie. These games are more than contests. They're chapters in a shared story, revisited every year with the same warmth as a family photo album. But Thanksgiving football is about more than touchdowns and tackles. It's about giving back. Both the Lions and Cowboys use their Thanksgiving platforms to support their communities, from organizing food drives to honoring military families during halftime. These gestures of gratitude reflect the spirit of the holiday, reminding us that football, at its best, is a unifying force that uplifts and inspires. For many, Thanksgiving football is a gateway into a lifelong love of the sport. Children gather around the TV, wide-eyed as their families come alive with cheers and groans. These games are often a child's first memory of football, the spark that ignites a passion passed down through generations. Watching Barry Sanders weave through defenders like a ghost, or Emmitt Smith bulldoze his way into the end zone isn't just thrilling, it's transformative. For young fans, these moments become anchors in their journey as lifelong followers of the game. And then there's the pageantry. Especially in Dallas, halftime shows have become as iconic as the games themselves. Whether it's Shania Twain captivating millions or the Jonas Brothers electrifying the stage, these performances turn Thanksgiving into a spectacle that transcends football. For a moment, the holiday feels larger than life, a mix of entertainment and celebration that reminds us why this tradition is so special. Ultimately, Thanksgiving football is about more than the Lions and Cowboys. It's about us. It's about the memories we make, the stories we tell, and the connections we forge. These games remind us why sports matter, not just for the action on the field, but for their ability to bring people together year after year to celebrate tradition, community, and the simple joy of being part of something bigger. So when the Lions and Cowboys take the field this Thanksgiving, it won't just be another game, it will be a living piece of history, a reminder of why we gather, cheer, and remember. Why have the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys become the undisputed kings of Thanksgiving football? The answer lies in bold ambition, impeccable timing, and an unwavering commitment to the power of tradition. These two teams stepped into the Thanksgiving spotlight when no one else dared, and their dedication transformed the holiday into an enduring celebration of football and community. For the Lions, it began in 1934 with George A. Richards. He didn't just see Thanksgiving as a chance to sell tickets. He saw it as a platform to elevate his team and his city. By anchoring the Lions to a holiday steeped in family and gratitude, Richards created more than a tradition. He gave Detroit a unifying moment, a reason to gather, and a source of pride that has lasted for nearly 90 years. The Lions' Thanksgiving game is not about wins or losses, it's about legacy, resilience, and honoring the spirit of a city that never quits. The Cowboys' journey is different but equally inspiring. In 1966, Tex Schramm saw Thanksgiving as a golden opportunity to showcase a young franchise to a national audience. Schramm wasn't just building a team, he was crafting a brand. By embracing the spectacle of Thanksgiving, Dallas didn't just participate in a tradition, they redefined it. Their games became larger-than-life productions, complete with dramatic performances, iconic halftime shows, and unforgettable moments that captured the imagination of fans across the country. What sets these two teams apart is their willingness to embrace the challenges of Thanksgiving. Hosting a game on this day isn't easy. It requires short preparation times, grueling logistics, and the ability to perform under the intense scrutiny of a national spotlight. Where others hesitated, the Lions and Cowboys leaned in, turning the obstacles into opportunities and building a tradition that feels as unshakable as the holiday itself. Then there's the emotional connection these teams have built with their fans. For Detroit, Thanksgiving is about hope and pride, a chance for the city to shine, even in seasons of struggle. For Dallas, the holiday is a celebration of ambition and drama, a chance to embody the grandeur that defines America's team. These narratives make their games essential viewing, no matter the opponent or the stakes. They're not just games, they're touchstones of tradition that millions of families plan their day around. Even the NFL itself recognizes the central role the Lions and Cowboys play in Thanksgiving's identity. While the league added a rotating third game in 2006, it's Detroit and Dallas that remain the heart of the holiday. Their games are the main course, the one steeped in history and ritual, ensuring their place as the anchors of the NFL's Thanksgiving spectacle. The stories born from these games are what make them timeless. Barry Sanders defying gravity with his electrifying runs, Clint Longley's miraculous comeback, Leon Lett's infamous blunder in the snow. These moments transcend the sport, becoming shared memories that fans revisit year after year. They're proof of what happens when boldness and consistency meet the magic of tradition. But perhaps the simplest reason the Lions and Cowboys dominate Thanksgiving is that they've made it their own. For these teams, Thanksgiving isn't just another game day, it's part of their identity. From Detroit's nostalgic roots to Dallas' Hollywood-style production, they've turned the holiday into a celebration of everything that makes football great. They've given us stories to tell, memories to treasure, and a reason to gather with those we love. In the end, the Lions and Cowboys remind us what Thanksgiving is all about. It's more than football. It's about history, resilience, and the enduring power of tradition to bring us together. Their games are more than matchups. They're a living piece of the holiday, a reminder of why we gather each year to celebrate the things that matter most. So when the Lions and Cowboys take the field, it's not just a game. It's a moment that belongs to all of us, a legacy that honors the past, celebrates the present, and inspires the future. Thanksgiving football is more than just a part of the holiday. It's a celebration of history, resilience, and the power of tradition. The Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys have done more than host games. They've built legacies that define this special day for millions of fans. From Detroit's bold beginning in 1934 to Dallas' transformative arrival in 1966, these teams turned Thanksgiving into an unmissable spectacle, a gift to football lovers everywhere. For the Lions, Thanksgiving is a tribute to nearly 90 years of perseverance. Every year, they take the field to honor Georgia Richards' daring vision, a vision that gave Detroit not just a football game, but a unifying moment for a city built on determination and grit. It's a tradition that stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Motor City, proving that even in the toughest times, there's always something to rally around. For the Cowboys, Thanksgiving is about spectacle and opportunity. Tex Schramm's ambition turned a single game into an iconic stage, a place where drama, entertainment, and football converge. Every year, Dallas seizes the holiday to remind fans why they're America's team, delivering moments that transcend the game itself and elevate the holiday to something unforgettable. When we gather each Thanksgiving to watch these games, we're not just witnessing touchdowns and tackles. We're participating in something timeless, an event that connects us to our families, to our communities, and to the stories that make the holiday so meaningful. These games remind us of the memories we've made, the laughter we've shared, and the connections that bind us across generations. So as you sit down this Thanksgiving, surrounded by loved ones, and the Lions or Cowboys take the field, take a moment to reflect on what you're watching. This isn't just a game. It's a living piece of history, a tradition that bridges nearly a century of American life. It's proof of how sports, at their best, can unite us, inspire us, and remind us of the things that truly matter. George A. Richards and Tex Schramm didn't just create games. They created legacies that have enriched the holiday for millions. Their vision gave us more than football. It gave us moments to cherish and memories to pass down. And as the holiday unfolds, year after year, We can only be grateful for what they've built and the traditions they've left behind. Thanksgiving wouldn't be the same without the Lions and Cowboys. They've turned the holiday into something bigger than themselves, a celebration of family, community, and the enduring magic of sports. So this year, as you cheer, groan, and reminisce, know that you're part of something extraordinary, a legacy that will continue to bring us together for generations to come.